Le voici, Forest
Here
Whitaker.
he is, Forest Whitaker, with Thierry Frémaux.
Et voilà, c'est parti pour la conférence.
And there we go for the press conference.
All right, you have about 30 more seconds for the
Oh, great. Peace.
All right, thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. Please go back to your seat so we can start the press conference. Merci beaucoup. Merci de retourner à vos sièges. Please go back to your seats. Ça va, Forrest? No, it's going to be in English.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, do I have to understand what they said?
If you want to put them on when they ask a question in French.
Okay.
But most of the question will be in English.
Okay.
All right. First of all, monsieur, well, congratulations for you, Palme d'Or d'Honneur. And I want to talk about myself in a moment here. It was 1988, one of my first festivals. It was the day after I saw one of the films that made my love of cinema even stronger. I'm talking about Bird, of course. It was at the Carlton. There was this young guy sitting, having a coffee, after a night of triumph, right after the screening of the film here. And I was like, should I go and tell him how much I loved him in the film? But I didn't bother you. And so I won't tell you now how much I love this film, how much it changed everything for me as a movie lover. I suppose that this screening in Cannes in 1988 was important for you too.
It was the first time I'd ever played a leading role. And when I came to Cannes, I was acknowledged as an artist for the first time internationally. It was it really changed my life and the trajectory, I think, of my career in some ways, because it allowed me to be seen as an artist and not just a player.
But you were really young. I mean, you were 26, 27 at the time.
I was a kid. I had never really done interviews. I had never really been to a film festival. I was overwhelmed by it. I mean, I didn't even know how to respond. And now I was with Clint Eastwood, and he commanded so much respect, and they were screaming his name, and so it was so new. And I had just been trying to play that part. And now I was here, and then when I was acknowledged, it touched my heart. It really was a gift, the greatest gift I could have imagined at the time. I remember that night before, I was in my room, and my brother was with me. I brought my brother, and he said, "Hey, they say it's possible you could win something." I was like, "Are you serious?" I said, "I don't think so." He says, "Yeah, you should try to think about it, But for me, I was just blown away by being invited for the experience in the first place. It was new for me, and then it turned out to be something really beautiful. I met a lot of great filmmakers and really interesting people.
You came back 6 times, I think, in Cannes, 4 times in competition. There was Bird, Regina Lamb, Body Snatchers, and the wonderful and the magnificent Ghost Dog. Do you feel that the festival kind of was a companion for you throughout your career and allowed your film to be seen, allowed your work to be seen in the world?
And I think it's been a launching pad for the world to be, looking through the window at some of that work, like Ghost Dog, and also For the Sake of Peace, which is the film that I'm here with now. I mean, I've been here as an actor on a number of films, and I came here as a producer with Fruitvale Station, with Ryan Coogler, and with songs My Brother Taught Me by Chloe Zhao, and then of course now with Christophe and the guys and Joseph, and I mean it's been really an amazing thing for me.
So what was your reaction when Thierry called you and talked to you about the Palme d'Honneur?
I hadn't thought about that, it hadn't occurred to me, So when he said it, I thought, what a great honor, and it's a place that I really care about. I think even being the 75th anniversary made it even more special. You know?
Definitely. All right, I'm going to open the floor to questioning, and then we will talk about the sake of peace.
I know.
We'll talk about your career first, and then
Okay.
I'll have the directors coming. All right, I think we have a question. Lady over there.
Hi, I'm Sabine from German television, and I'm afraid you just answered my first question, but maybe you could repeat, looking in our direction. I just wanted to ask you when did you come the first time to Cannes, and what impact did the festival have on your life?
I came 34 years ago. It was the first time. I was a kid, you know, idealistic kid who just focused on his work, kind of method style, really. And the festival allowed me to be respected, or known as an artist around the world, and it touched me also just to be acknowledged for all the work, because I worked really hard on that film. I mean, I've worked on other films where it took mostly all of my time, but that was one. And in the end, people received it, and that's really special.
Scott over there. Oh, you need to take a mic. Oh, sorry.
Chaz first of all, sorry.
I'm sorry, Chaz first, and I come back to yours. Oh, Scott over there.
Thank you, Monsieur Didier. Monsieur Whitaker, I am so happy for you getting an honorary Palme d'Or. And my question for you is, you've acted in so many iconic roles, but now you and your producing partner, Nina Yang Bon Jovi, in significant productions, you've also given many opportunities to new filmmakers who are becoming very important in the landscape, such as Ryan Coogler and Chloe Zhao, even one of our jury members, Rebecca Hall,
Yes,
with
Passing.
the movie Passing.
Passing, beautiful.
Does this Palme d'Or, will it I think in the future, are you going to concentrate more on giving more opportunities to emerging filmmakers in your production role, or will you continue to act in as well?
And I think there'll be more films that our company produces. You know, we did some launching of those films here, you know, with Ryan's movie, Fruitvale Station, that was shown here in won in certain regard. That was the first one out of my company. And then, of course, Chloe Zhao's movie, which she's a very special director. And even, you know, and now we're bringing the film with Tomas and Christophe, and they're coming with For the Sake of Peace. So it's all about diverse voices that can bring stories to life that don't get a chance to be seen. And that's what we're going to continue to try to do, and we'll be doing more of that on television as well.
All right, we got a question on this side.
Hi, I'm David Martos from Onda Cero Radio Network in Spain. My question is about representation. We've been talking about representation a lot in the last few days and months and years. How do we do that in the industry or in this festival? How do we achieve a more diverse lineup in cinemas, in festivals, in life? Thank you.
I mean, there's different answers to that. I mean, I think right now we're seeing a different opportunity with streaming that's allowing there to be more niche markets, to be grassroots marketing towards a group, you know, which is more subscription-based. How do you get to do that? I think you have to use the data from some of that to be able to expand and raise money equities to be able to make our films. I mean, for instance, all the films we've done, 5 films, and they've all been produced through us raising the funds for them. We raised the funds, and then we sold the films for distribution. That's been a model that's been working for us. And I think that's the one that can be looked at by others. I think we also need to continue to rattle the chain and let people be aware, so they can recognize that there needs to be inclusion. Inclusion in storytelling is important because we're a part of the world, and people need to allow the voices to be heard. And we have to, rattle the chain, bring opportunities, raise up funds in our own monies, because it's only fair.
I want to go on the question and talk about Fruitvale Station and how important this movie here, the discovery of Ryan Coogler, was in terms of of representation in terms of telling these stories in American cinema. I remember being at the screening in Sundance, and we felt that something changed at this time. Screening here, we felt that something changed. It was different. Did you realize that? Did you realize how important was this movie?
Ryan, I mean, Fruitvale Station, I recognized from the beginning. He was in college and came into my office with Nina, and he told me a few ideas he had, and I said, this one we can do, we'll do this one. Lucky enough, we had like some funding from some backers and equity backers, and we were able to get the movie made with the help of my partner, Nina. So I think that's part of the question answer.
It is. All right. Right in the middle.
Hi, question here from Brazil. My name is Rodrigo Fonseca from TV Globo. Mr. Whitaker, my question concerns your career as a director. You've directed a few films, but great films, Waiting for Exhale, for example, and The First Daughter, that became an enormous success in Brazil. I would like to hear, do you have plans to direct again? What drives your attention when you direct a movie? If you could say a few words about it.
I don't have any plans to direct soon.
Why not? We love your film.
It's nice. You know, I've done those 4 films, and it was a great experience. It takes a lot of time as well, a lot of commitment, and it'd have to be the proper story that I was like totally falling into to get me to direct again. You know, but I'm not saying it won't happen again. Not right now.
Right. Right there in the middle.
Hi, hello, Mr. Forrest Whitaker. My name is Rupak. I represent a web-based portal from Calcutta, India. My question to you is about movies and humanitarian accessibility to the places on which you make the movies, like, let's say, The Last King of Scotland or the movie that we saw today. How do you address the question of accessing these downtrodden places of the world? I understand that you're part of a movie-making process where people go there, shoot, and come back. Are you able to take that information back to them and show that their story is being told to the world? How do you approach this accessibility problem in general?
I mean, I have an NGO. It operates dealing with conflict resolution and development. It's 10 years old. We've been working. So we've been working in the South Sudan for 10 years. And there are stories and things that I thought should be chronicled about the youths and the power of change that was happening. And so ultimately, I went into a philanthropic organization and got funding through a postcard lottery. And that was what we used to make the film. And then, of course, we had these filmmakers, Christophe and Thomas. And maybe they can come up and talk about filmmaking, too.
Yeah, if you could just introduce them, and if you can just come up and talk about the film, too. Please introduce your directors.
Yeah. This is... It's Christophe and Thomas.
Right,
and we got to get you...
Bonjour. Vous avez un seul micro pour deux, mais...
Ouais, on va se débrouiller.
Voilà.
But to just
The movie is The Sake of Peace, for those who don't know.
To finish out the stake, and so I took the information and wanted the need to tell the stories of what we were working on already in the environment, and then these 2 gentlemen took on the task of spending 6 years as we worked on the project to bring those stories out for you to see.
Donc nous avons à la table Christophe Castagne.
We have Christophe Castagne and Thomas here with us. Could you say a few words about how you worked with Forrest on The Sake of Peace? How did things go?
On a eu la chance formidable
We were
de
extremely fortunate to work with Forrest. To start with, we worked for the Forrest NGO, and we started to make a series of portraits of peacemakers
qui ont été formés par l'ONG de Forrest.
Who were trained by Forrest NGO. It started in Mexico, then Uganda, and then we were in South Africa. And when we were shooting these portraits, we discovered such wonderful people who had something. They were spokesmen for peace, which is very important today. And Forrest said at a given point in time, well, why don't we make a real documentary? So it was a wonderful opportunity for us to work on this topic, and of course to work with such an amazing person in the cinema, an actor, a producer, and a real man of peace. So we started to work on this, and we thought it might take 1 or 2 years, and it actually took 6. It was a long, long adventure. and it wasn't exactly easy.
The Whitaker Peace and Development Initiative has been in existence for 10 years, and we're like in 8 countries. We've affected the lives of 1.5 million people directly, and maybe $5 million people indirectly. So it's through that beginning mechanism. I was just talking about, you were asking that question of how we got the information and knew to do it, you know?
Oui, je pourrais également ajouter
Well, I might also add
énormément de commitment, d'engagement.
we had to have a lot of commitment and perseverance to make the film. 6 years is a very long time. We had to stop the filming because of the situation in the country, which was deteriorating. We were a very close team, and we had to be in order to succeed. I think we can feel very proud of this work. It took a long, long time. There were moments when the film was really in danger and everything could have just stopped there. But together, we were able to find the resources to make the film that you'll be seeing. And I think this is something we can all feel very proud of. To answer the journalist from Brazil, you were wondering about the characters who we filmed. We're not in daily touch with them, but today they're all on WhatsApp and on Facebook. These are people with whom we've built up a real relationship, and we feel very close to them. They're wonderful people. We're in contact with them. We swap information. They're on Facebook. They're on WhatsApp. And they're fully abreast of the situation. They know they're here in Cannes. If we could have Nandege with us, that would be absolutely incredible. It would be wonderful. So they know what's happening. We didn't just leave them back in their countries saying, well, bye. We shot a film and goodbye. That's that.
She's like a spokesperson herself. I mean, she's now been asked to go to the UN in Geneva. She's been brought around to speak at many different engagements to explain what's really happening in the war of the South Sudan. You know, there's many conflicts all over the world that are happening right now that we need to take our minds towards and help if we can, you know.
All right, Scott over there.
Hey, Forrest, good to see you again, sir. Scott with Cinema Magazine. Watching this movie this morning, I couldn't help but feel intellectually and emotionally engaged, taken somewhere and learning something that I didn't know before. How much of this was a cultural awakening for you? And there are like specific moments that the guy couldn't raise $38 to buy a wife, or that women are below the value. I mean, just little things like that. We realize that the Hatfields and McCoys situation exists worldwide, where one neighbor doesn't like another. But what enlightenment did you get about this experience in South Sudan?
I mean, you know, we try to make partnerships on the ground. That's how we started as an organization. And so there's a lot of people that I met, giving them respect to the circumstances of their lives. I played that respect, and I learned more and more and more about them every day. You know, what happens right now during this continual flooding that's been going on there, and how do people survive. I've been through a few, you know, of these problems, but it's good to know more clearly, like from on the ground perspectives. I mean, I think I don't know. One of our executives, Carolyn Descombris, is here. She stepped out. She coordinates a lot of that, and then you are human, and you listen to people, and you look for the common needs, and you offer tools of empowerment that allow them to be able to access what they want in their own lives, and you respect that as a partnership, and not as someone who's coming in to dictate or to tell people what to do, but to come in as a partner to help in any way we can. And that's what we do.
Lady in just here.
Oh, yeah. Hi, my name's Cynthia Carina from Radio 3CR in Australia. I really loved your film. Thank you so much for making it. As you said, I've learned a lot from it as well. I've got so many questions to ask you, from manhood and violence.
You can only ask one, I'm sorry.
Whatever. I know I have 10, but I settled on the one at the Kamal, the guy who was the warmonger who shot 1,000 people or whatever a year or whatever it was. And despite all the community benefits of peace, there's always going to be another one of him, earlier on a younger version of him, that will always profit from war. So how do you deal? What was your sense of that? Will there be a new guy that will want to wreck the whole peace process just to have profit and just for his own benefit? Do you understand the question?
Are you talking to me?
Anyone. You're talking to me, I love it.
No, I mean,
the De Niro line.
the issue of idle youth all over the world is one that's really difficult.
But more than idle, more than that. I mean, they want to make a name for themselves. They will profit.
You're talking about
anywhere, I think, but also particularly in Sudan.
Yeah, and in South Africa, it may be like poaching in different places. The youth are following those people who are able to make a living and like prosper in their environments, like they do even in like Mexico or South Central LA. You know, people are
and the old island and the IRA and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just trying to do that. And from that, your question, you're asking, how do you deal with it?
Well, what did you notice over there, or how do you deal if you have an answer?
Well, I mean, so far, I mean, the point is we like going into communities, recognizing individuals as people and partners, and then like offering soft tools for them to like be able to prosper and to finance businesses. Like our organization has financed almost 300 businesses. You know, like, and we continue to finance businesses, those businesses in the community. And when people like feel a sense of identity and prosperity, they're able to move forward in their lives. You can't just ask people to do something without any means to offer them. And we do that. We do it through a number of different ways, but those are one.
Yeah, great, thank you so much.
Gentleman in the second row.
Thank you. Mr. Whitaker, congratulations on the Palme d'Or, first of all. My name is Felipe Machado from Brazil as well. And I'd like to know, both as an actor, as a producer, you probably show a lot of projects and a lot of people show you projects. And I'd like to know what makes you feel that the project is right? What makes you feel like I want to be part of this project, both as a producer and an actor? Thank you.
As a producer, it has to like be trying to speak to an audience and uplift an audience in a way, make them understand and learn. Always have to feel that we're contributing to a dialogue. As an actor, I mean, I go, you know, by the script, by the filmmaker, but a lot by my own guts and instincts, and also like my personal belief in the way the world is. You know, like, so I may be more attracted to doing something about Desmond Tutu than I would be attracted to do something else. Or I would like do a series and it may be about a mobster, but we like are exploring like social structures and things of that nature. So all of them are going to like be living inside of the moral structure that I have for myself, you know, and that's a big telling point to choosing what I'm going to do.
We got a question over there. Au fond là-bas, merci.
Hi everyone, my name is Gideon Ajayi, representing La Belle Paris magazine. Thank you, Mr. Forrest, for what you do. And thank you for all the memories you're giving us right from childhood. My question is about development, going back to Africa. What are the basic elements in developing grassroots movies, like in Nigeria and in other remote countries of Africa? Thank you very much.
It's a good question. I actually haven't moved the work of the foundation into like entertainment or cinema. We have what we call a Cinema for Peace program, but that program is basically to show films in different communities so that we can have dialogue and discussion. I think I would mark that as long as you can find your distribution chain and you like have the skill sets to be able to make a film, which anyone can make a film with a cell phone almost today, then it's possible to tell the stories if you're a good storyteller. And I think the biggest thing is just about funding and distribution, which is what the gentleman was asking about earlier. And that is the same issue that people have all over the world.
OK, on a une question ici.
Hi, it's Chris from Belgium. Mr. Whitaker, you're mentioned as part of the cast of Megalopolis from Francis Ford Coppola. So you can confirm that. Could you tell us some more about it? Did you talk to Francis about it? What's the script about? We want to know.
I don't know how much he talks about the script, but I definitely talked to him. We've been talking for a few years now. He's done some rewrites working on the project. Through the pandemic, he was working. And now it looks like we're going to be starting to shoot in August, around that time. The cast is coming together. I'm excited about working with Francis Ford Coppola. He's an amazing filmmaker. So I'm excited about that. But I can't. In the story, it deals with the city and like the power structures within it fighting for power. It's one more progressive and one conservative. It's significant. Yeah.
You like the script?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I like the script and I like him.
We got a question over there.
Hello, Florencia Angeles from the W Radio in Mexico and Colombia and Spain also. I would like to know a little bit more about your foundation, your ONG, because you have a project in Mexico, and how we helped the young people, and if you have also the project in Colombia, because we have a peace process after the guerrilla, after the cartel of drugs. If you perhaps you have a project also in South America. Thank you.
I wanted to do a project in Tijuana, which is one of the most violent cities in the world, but also it was on the border of where I was raised in California. So we went in and started our program, and the program is still active today. It started in around 2012, and then we branched ourselves out to Chiapas. So we have 2 centers. We always work by building centers so that they can act as a hub for the community to come and be able to access knowledge and information and give opportunities of building skill sets. So we're in those 2 places. I don't know when we'll be moving. It depends on the kind of partnerships into other areas of Latin America. That'll probably happen. We've been discussing it for years, but we haven't made the decision, and we haven't gotten the partnerships for that yet.
A lady in the second row.
Alice Kanderian for Cinemagia, Romania. I'm very glad to see you again after I got the chance to hear a lot of, to get more information about your foundation at El Gouna Film Festival in Egypt. Yes, so I really liked the documentary, and I will have some questions for you regarding the structure of the documentary. You are saying that it took 6 years. And was it clear from the beginning that you're going to focus yourself on the conflict between the 2 communities, I think Logir and Didinga?
Shall I try to answer in English or in French?
Comme vous voulez.
Okay. Ok, je vais peut-être en français.
No, maybe I'll answer in French. It's easier for me.
Non, pas du tout.
No, not at all. It was not at all clear. The problem when we started to shoot the film was that we were in the midst of a civil war. So that gave rise to very down-to-earth problems like safety and how could one travel. In the city where we were shooting, at the beginning of the film, if you went 2 kilometers out of the town, you ended up in the middle of a civil war and you could be killed. It was a huge risk, a very great danger. If you drove along, you had 8 chances out of 10 to be shot at. I didn't run the risk, and nor did my colleague. We didn't want to get shot. And the peace actions carried out by Forest's Foundation, which Nge works for, the activities had ground to a halt, or there were just small things being done which could be done in the city itself. So a lot of fantastic work was done, which we documented at length in the film. She works with gangs, and there was a civil war all around us. We were really waiting to be able to tell this very powerful tale. We wanted to be able to document it, film it, and show people the story. We were familiar with the problems affecting these tribes. There was a problem of cattle theft and a lot of disputes. A huge amount of work had already been done by mediators working for the foundation and others, but at the time activities had ground to a halt, so we had to wait. Sometimes the film was blocked for a whole year because the conditions weren't ripe. We simply couldn't. Well, the peace mediators had to go about their work on the spot so we could then do our filming. There were all sorts of problems. There's the problem of translation as well. I was saying that to Forrest. Translating, well, we're talking about a country where there are 64 tribes, about 65, nearly 70 languages, and we had dialogues where the tribes didn't speak the same language, and each tribe used a translator, either in Jumbo-Arabic, which is the Arab dialect in the area, or a little bit, a tiny little bit in English. Which was easier for us. Otherwise, we had to film dialogues blindly in a way because we didn't have any translators. We shot everything, and we ended up with this scene, and I was doing the shooting, and I shot absolutely everything. I have rushes which last an hour and a half. I start shooting and an hour and a half stop. And then everything has to be translated, which is hugely complicated. We have the Nuer ethnic group, which suffered from a genocide in 2013, and you can see the beginning of the genocide in the film. Well, to translate all this, we had to find people from the same ethnic group who spoke that language, and these people were stuck in the UN camps. They didn't have any electricity and so on and so forth. We were in very, very strange situations. We had to go with a power generator and with some oil, and we put the power generator on so that we could charge the battery of a computer so the guy could do the translation for us. This was just one of endless difficulties. It explains why the film took so very long to shoot and to get here to Cannes.
Time for 2 or 3 more questions. Was that?
My name is Falila Gbadamassi.
Microphone, please.
My name is Falila Gbadamassi. I am so happy to see you. My name is Falila Gbadamassi. I work for AfriCine. I just want to ask you a question about the fact you play Idi Amin Dada in the last King of Scotland. You play a cop in Zulu, and you are producing this documentary about Sudan. How is it important for you to talk about African to talk about African stories in cinema when you are acting or when you are producing? It's kind of is it a way to maintaining because you are Afro-American, the link with the motherland, kind of? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I was working in Uganda, and I started working there with a friend. He had an orphanage, Samokelo, it was called Hope North, and I guess from doing that work with him and working with the youth there, I started to see the same thing in the eyes of the kids that I had known when I was growing up. Some of the things that I understood about, stress and problems and stuff that needed to be overcome. And so it felt to me like I was connected. So I decided to start working there. And I started working in Uganda first in my friend's NGO and helping him to build the dormitories and different things of that nature. And then later with the UN and with UNESCO, working with them to address problems. But it was a kinship that I found. But as an organization, we work all over the world. We're in 8 different countries, and we're continuing to grow. So it's looking for people that there's a need, and if there's a way to be followed through. But yes, I mean, certainly it started through me understanding more of my African heritage.
We got a question over there.
Hello, Mr. Whitaker. My name is Fiona Mogadam. I'm a French journalist for the French radio France Culture. I have a question about your NGO. You decided to help a French department called Seine-Saint-Denis, which is the poorest in France. Could you explain to us why?
I guess because I became aware We've been working. Our main offices are in Paris. They're in the UNESCO building. They've been there for the last 10 years. So I've been coming in and out of France, and a bank was working with us to fund some of our projects, and they asked me to go look at Saint-Saint-Denis. And I realized some of the problems that were going on there were differently expressed, but in other areas. So I decided that there may be a way to partner with the NGOs that already exist there, and to partner with the community to be able to have some positive impact, but always, of course, trying to learn from all the people that were there before us and were there at the time that we've come in. So it's been a journey. It's like we take slow steps because we want to get to know the environment, what the people need, and if there's something that we can offer in our skill tools and skill sets that could help the situation become more prosperous for the community.
Okay, last question will be over there.
Mireille Drondoy-Chevel, j'aurais une question aux deux réalisateurs.
I have a question
Vous
to
expliquez dans le document
the directors. You explained in your document that there were many agreements that weren't kept.
La paix a fonctionné, la
Did peace and reconciliation really work this time? And did the government keep its promises vis-à-vis the community? Yes.
Le deal qui a été passé entre les deux tribus est
between the two
toujours,
tribes
c'est-à-dire qu'il n'y a pas eu d'agression entre les deux tribus.
Is in force. There has been no aggression between the two tribes, so things seem to be working still. It's a true success because it was very, very difficult, in fact. The action we filmed in the film, action had already been taken a few years ago, but it didn't last, so it's quite wonderful to know that what you see in the film still works today. As to the government promises, I don't know exactly how things work in the field, whether things have changed. But what I can say is that, yes, the deal is still in force and it's had a huge impact on people.
All right. Christophe, Castagne, Thomas, Samtin, merci beaucoup. Et Monsieur Forrest Whitaker, congratulations and thank you very much.
Oh, I see that picture. I remember. Oh, nice. Yeah. Did it turn out okay?